Okay. Go to your left.
Okay. How am I looking?
Yep, keep coming. So, yep. Yep. Just slowly. And hang on. No, keep going. Keep coming. Just come. Over to your right a little bit.
Okay.
Yep, keep coming. You're right. I think you're right for now, hon. Does it look alright? Does it look alright to you?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, this is Magpie Jump Up, and quite a gnarly piece of track. We've got a bit of guidance coming through here that way. Okay, go left. Okay, keep coming straight on. That's all right.
Good one, love. Go towards your right.
Okay, I think I'm through the worst of it.
Yep.
Coming up, this is going to be interesting.
Right.
What's that, sorry?
You're right. It. Great. That's it. Left.
Coming up, this is going to be interesting.
There. Just watching a trailer now, hang on, hon. No, it should be right.
Fast, not too fast. That's it, a little bit more right. That's it. That's going beautiful. Just that side, you'll be right.
This is a great toe test between the long-time favourite, the Land Rover Discovery here, and the more agricultural but quite common Toyota Land Cruiser. And so what do you think so far, Paul?
Well, I think you've got lost because there are no pony fields here and there are no horse ranches here. These things are designed to travel through the English countryside, not in the Australian outback.
And yours, of course, is unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Yes, of course it is. Well, look, I just thought you might want to have this bit of your car back because it fell off. But things don't fall off Toyotas, do they?
I'll have to go and check that.
I've got him stumped.
We don't even have these.
It's got him worried now, isn't it?
We're good. We're good.
Well, this is Bachsten Creek Camp, 145 kilometres up the Munja Track. What an absolute oasis. It's a fantastic spot. Look how they've set up our camping area, and this is just one of several. We're just a short distance away from swimming holes, and it's all been set up with plenty of shade, fresh hot water showers, drop toilets, and this must be the most remote camp in Australia, I reckon. So we've driven up here from Mount Elizabeth Station, 145 kilometres, took a couple of days, and set up here for 3 or 4 days. Been to walks down to Baxton Gorge, which is incredibly spectacular. Well set up here, very happy, and tonight we're actually having a cocktail party for half a dozen of us, and the team are just getting set up for cocktails in the bush at Bachsten Creek Camp.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Well, it started off with just knowing Rick and Anne, and my wife and I, Janet, used to run similar sort of tours to what Rick and Anne did, and we actually ran into them a few times along the track. We brought some of our tours in here at some stage, and then when we both stopped actually in the same year with the tours, all getting too old, so Janet and I started coming out to help Rick and Anne.
So you've been coming here for, what, 10 years every season?
10 years every season, yeah. Before that, probably 3 or 4 years before that, we brought tours out here. Yeah. So.
And this must be, well, I guess, the most remote bush camp in the country.
It could be, yeah. Can't really think of any others.
No.
Yeah, there are more remote places in the country, but as far as having a nice camp, yeah.
And so what do you like about being here?
Good question. I guess, no,
Now, if you climb down into the falls, and obviously you can only do this when they're not flowing.
Careful.
There's a whole gallery of artwork on the wall of the falls. Unbelievable. Look at that. Whole family of them.
That's the best I've seen.
Yep, it's amazing, isn't it? Look at this. But look over here how some of the older artwork has been painted over by later generations. Look how high it goes up here. So they must have stood on rocks that have since been. So right under the cliff face, you can see the incredible difference of colours of sediment laid down over hundreds of millions of years. Each layer, different kind of mud, compressed, different colours. Just imagine how old that is. That would be maybe billions of years old.
And Greg, what about the European cobblestones that you're standing
well,
on?
Well, this is a later addition.
Yeah.
Obviously, some Italian explorers, pioneers. Stonemasons, yeah, they would have come here and decided that this was a bit rough and it needed some stonemasonry work.
Well, we do have an Italian with us, and we could ask Remo what he thinks of this particular lay of stone.
Well, looking at this type of cobblestone, it brings back memories. I think it might have been in one of my ancestries when they're back in their pioneer days that would have laid this down here
Yes.
for a little bit of extra comfort.
I think it was probably one of your cousins.
Beautifully cut stone.
Yeah, look
It's
at
a
it.
Nick and Mario.
Hey, was it Nick and Mario?
It was Nick and Mario from memory.
Now, we're in a beautiful camping spot in the pristine Kimberley. Well, it's pristine apart from people who don't know the basics of disposal of human waste. And if you look around just about any camp spot anywhere in Australia, it'll be littered with people who don't know the basics. So I want to demonstrate a few of the basics. Now, what you can see here is a very, very simple device. In fact, it's elegant in its simplicity. This is called an LED, or lavatorial excavation device. And it was actually invented many, many hundreds of years ago and hasn't actually changed much since then. It seems though, even though it's been around for so long, that so many people fail to understand how to use it. In fact, it's a multi-purpose tool, and I'm going to show you. So what you actually do is use this LED to dig a hole like this in the earth. You excavate the hole. It doesn't need to be particularly deep, only a small amount of earth needs to come out. And then when you feel the urge, you can deposit the human waste in said hole. And then what you need after that, after you've used the toilet paper, and I'm not going to demonstrate how to use it, that should be fairly obvious, these are called matches. Now, incredibly simple device again. You actually take the match and you strike it on one side of the matchbox, and then you put that flame to the toilet paper that you've left in the said excavated hole, and once it's burned, you simply take the multi-purpose tool, the LED, and you take a shovelful of dirt and put it back in the hole. It's that simple, and that way we can all go camping in places that aren't covered in the remnants of people's defecation. Very, very simple. Hope that's been helpful. Grab one of these. You can get them at just about any hardware store. Very, very simple devices, and all you need to do is dig yourself a hole and job's done, and it's all ready and clean for the next person to come along. So hope that's been helpful, folks. Terrific. You can actually bring your own toilet seat. This is a $7 seat from Bunnings. Even put your own name on it. You can cut the seat out from it, place it over the hole. A very cheap toilet seat, again from Bunnings, and it makes it very, very easy, particularly for older people who have rickety knees and find it difficult to squat.
Calling me old?
Well, only a little bit.
Right. Today's damper, which we've cooked at the Bachsten camp, is a combination of several things. The main ingredients is this little fella here. That is the secret. Inside this little fella, which has just come out of the camp oven, we have chorizo sausage. We have, what else is the other thing we have in there?
Dried apricots.
Oh, dried apricots and sun-dried tomatoes. Now, this is an experimental damper, and everyone around here is just about to have some. So let me just cut a piece off and see what it looks like.
You wouldn't want your tyres too stuck on this stuff, would you? No, you wouldn't. That's right, there's a heavy medium somewhere.
Well, mine are at 42 or 3, and I'm wondering whether that's high enough. And you're about to go up these rocky jump ups. Very, very useful to have this kind of technology. Put it in neutral.
You okay, bro?
Put it in low range, put the rock crawl on, and away you go. Take this out. Should be able to just squeeze it out in the gap. And what you find is a very, very dirty, charming. Fortunately, one is always advised to bring along a spare air filter. Look at that, pristine, which is soon to become like that. Yeah, well, the first 60 odd Ks was relatively easy, don't you reckon?
I think so.
Yes. It was only until we got to, I guess the first hard bit is going down Magpie Jump Up, which is about 60 Ks up the track, and then it evens out a bit, and
It was easy going from there on. We had 3 jumps up to go through, didn't we?
yeah, there's the Fig Tree Jump Up, which is quite long. It's 3 or 4 kilometres long and very gnarly.
But slow going.
Yeah, it's slow going. The good bit, I suppose, even though it would have been nice to have water, they've had a very dry season, but it made it a lot easier to see the rocky river crossings, so you could avoid those. But once you got through the Bachsten jump up, it was pretty easy from there on.
That's including towing 2-ton vans.
Yeah,
2-ton camper vans.
Yeah, towing those 2-ton.
Pioneer.
Yeah, you're towing those 2-ton vans. That makes it a bit more difficult, but all in all, it's doable. But you don't want to rush it. I mean,
What did it take us? Took us a day and a half to get there in the first trip, and a day to come back.
yeah, we left early. We left early to come back from Baxton Creek camp, and I think we left at about 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and got back into Mount Elizabeth Station at about 5. Yeah, and that was with a few stops to look at some fantastic Aboriginal art, and not that we're going to say too much about where that is, but there's some terrific art all along the way. So a pretty good run, and nothing broke.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, nothing.
I'll come back.
No, you won't.
No, I won't.